gentlemen, and welcome to the Gordon Bombay Ice Center here at the University of Colorado in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. I'm Chip Samson to take you along with my broadcast partner, Zach Taylor, for tonight's exhibition hockey matchup between the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds and your Colorado Buffaloes. Taking a look at this Colorado Buffalo team, they've had 14 seniors leave from last year's club due to graduation. They have 10 returning seniors now. A few players bumped up from the junior varsity level, and then some new players, new faces we haven't seen yet before. So it's going to be a young, fresh, new team in here, but maybe not as young as this visiting Colorado Thunderbirds club.
Right, that's exactly right, Chip. Actually, there are a lot of players coming up from the D3 team, but this Colorado Thunderbirds team is actually a 18 and under team, which means that the average age is 18. The average birth year is 1994, and in 1994, I don't even know what I was doing. I was pretty much sitting on the couch, eating Cheerios, watching Power Rangers. So we're going to see how they use their youngness and their finesse and their speed to really combat this Colorado team.
That's right. Here we are. Here we are ready for the drop of the puck to get down to action, and we are underway here at the Bombay Barn in Boulder, Colorado. Colorado takes the puck into the offensive zone, and we're going to have a stop of play as the goaltender for the Thunderbirds is able to call this one to a whistle. 7 seconds in, and we have the first stoppage. We'll take a look at the starting five for the Colorado Buffaloes. Center, Jace Richardson, number 15, 14, playing the right wing position, Jordan Lochner. Buffaloes control off of the face-off here. Pass down low, controlled there by the Thunderbirds. Hit along the boards on the far side. Gustav Olofsson plays it up for the Thunderbirds, and he back to the puck again. He tries to find some space to create a breakout here for the Thunderbirds. They're able to get it out of their defensive zone, but dumped back in by the Colorado Buffaloes, and Thunderbirds will control behind their net. Passing up into the neutral zone, trying to create a break. Buffaloes will come back into their defensive zone. Try and pass it up here for their own breakout. Dumped back in the zone behind the net, played along the boards by the Buffaloes and the Thunderbirds. Passed in front, fielded here at point. Shot deflected away. Shot there by the Buffaloes is saved on the pad side by the goaltender of the Thunderbirds. Buffaloes fighting to keep it inside their offensive zone, and we'll get a stop here as that shot is corralled by the Thunderbirds goaltender.
Chip, the Colorado Buffaloes are doing a great job of keeping into the zone at this point. They're doing all they can. The defense is really jumping up there and making the hand saves and the stick saves to keep it in the zone and really keep that puck moving towards the net.
They certainly are, and that's something that Sean Sullivan and John Fife would like to see for this team, is to keep it on that side of the ice. Face-off here is controlled behind the net by the Thunderbirds. Buffaloes will continue to try and keep it in their offensive zone. The ball goes, the puck passes behind the Thunderbirds net, played there by the Thunderbirds on the far side of the ice. Thunderbirds just looking to create a breakout here and get it into the neutral zone as they do. Buffaloes will quickly pass it up, shooting it past. The ice is waved off. Controlled behind the net by the Thunderbirds. Check along the boards there related by the Colorado Buffaloes. Scrum along the boards, taken there by the Colorado Thunderbirds. They try to pass it out. Buffaloes do what they can to try and keep it in.
Some hard checks along the boards.
That's something that the coaches would like to see in this game, using the physicality, the size, and the maturity of these Buffalo players. This puck is played behind the net, skated up by the Thunderbirds. And they'll take the ice. Nope, as it's played there by the goaltender, and the Buffaloes will try and break it out as this one goes all the way down the rink to the far side. Played there by Gustav Olofsson of the Colorado Thunderbirds. Slap back into the offensive zone of the Colorado Buffaloes. And we have a whistle here. Looks like we have an offsides call as this faceoff will come into the neutral zone. Faceoff taken there by the Buffaloes and dumped down into the defensive zone of the Thunderbirds. Shot taken there by the Buffaloes is played in front of the net. Thunderbirds look to start a breakout here. Puck travels down beyond the Buffalo goaltender and played behind the net along the boards.
We're seeing some great defensive physicality in this game thus far, Chip.
Opportunity here by the Thunderbirds, and diving save, able to get that stick across and to keep that puck from passing that line into the goal. There's some of that physicality you were talking about, Zach, as their check applied along the boards behind the goal. Puck played along the boards here by both teams. Passed out to the point by the Thunderbirds. Unable to play it cleanly. Call waved off by the referee. Thunderbirds control it now in the neutral zone, and they'll dump it, and they'll get a change as fresh legs come on for both teams here. Buffaloes play it behind the net, looking to break this one out of their defensive zone. Pass inside of the middle, and that'll be covered there for a stop of play as the Buffalo goaltender goes on top of that. So something you've been mentioning, and we've heard the coaches talk about, both Sean Sullivan and John Fief, the physicality, and we've seen it here, and it's something that the Buffaloes are going to try and use to their advantage to try and take this game. Exactly right. They're going to utilize as much as they can just against this U18 team, see how they can prevent them from getting any breakaways and any fast breaks on them. Buffalo's trying to play it up here, dump down toward the Thunderbird goaltender, and we'll have it covered there for a stoppage of play. Another strategy that Sean Sullivan, the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, and I spoke about a little bit this week is the dump and chase strategy. Sometimes with different hockey teams, you've got finesse players, you've got grinders, and you see that with a grinding physical team is that dump and chase offensive style. And that's what the Buffaloes are looking to do here against a quick, athletic Thunderbirds team. Puck now played behind the Thunderbirds net, controlled there by the Thunderbirds. They'll start to set up a break, trying to get it out of their defensive zone. Play now in the neutral zone by the Thunderbirds. Dump deck behind the Colorado goal. Played along the boards by both teams. Colorado able to clear it out and dump it forward, and this will make its way behind the net of the Thunderbirds. A couple checks back-to-back, one by each team. Thunderbirds trying to play this one out. Buffalo's trying to control it and get an opportunity here. Shot in front and right in between the leg pads of the goaltender. That'll call for a stoppage of play. Buffalo's able to get a good opportunity there after a couple checks along the board, able to set a player up right in front of the net. That's what it's going to take too, Chip. You see, this Colorado Thunderbirds team, their defense is really moving. So in order for Colorado to make a move, they're going to have to do a lot of pass, and they're going to have to play more play style instead of garbage style hockey. That is correct. A good hit there by the Thunderbirds along the boards behind the Colorado net. They're trying to control the puck here in their offensive zone, trying to get a shot opportunity here. Good physical play there by the Buffaloes to take that play away from the Colorado Thunderbirds. They break it out, try and bring it into the offensive zone. Played away by the Thunderbirds. Opportunity here, flipped in, and it's a goal for the Colorado Buffaloes. If you notice, Chip, that play took at least 3 passes, and that's what it's going to take. They had 2 through the neutral zone and then 3 more. After the rebound, there was another pass and then a shoot to a goal. That's what the Buffaloes want to see in this game, coming back from a 9-2 loss against these Thunderbirds last year to get off to a good start offensively. As we look at the replay here, come in, puck played in front of the net, catches it on his backhand and able to sneak it by the Thunderbirds goaltender. Back to action here, another shot in front, deflected aside by Gustav Olofsson, the big defenseman for the Thunderbirds. Shot opportunity here is flicked aside. A couple more shots though in front, also flicked aside, and the Thunderbirds clear it out, and icing is waved off by the referee as it passes along the ice. Played in the neutral zone and into their offensive zone, but taken away by the Colorado Buffaloes. Buffaloes now able to skate it into their offensive zone, dump back behind the net, and they're able to get it in for another Colorado score, able to sneak that one under the leg padding. 2-0 quickly. How about that? That's something, Chip. You see, they're just picking up the garbage at this point. They're just taking all the rebounds that they can, and they're shoving them in, and that's what it's going to take, you know. It doesn't have to be the best looking shot, but it goes in, it still counts. That's true. When you're playing that grinding, physical kind of hockey, you like to see rebounds. You like to have your guys positioned in front of the net, able to get those rebounds and to put them in, and that's what they're doing so far with a 2-0 lead. Thunderbirds play it here in their defensive zone. Colorado aggressive on the forecheck. That's something I think the coaches of this team want to see. Another shot opportunity there is flicked aside by the Thunderbirds goaltender. We've got a scrum just to the far side of the net. Both teams battle for the puck, and now the whistle will call for a stoppage of play. Alex Palumbo, number 37, the goaltender for the Colorado Thunderbirds. We'll have a face-off here in the Thunderbird defensive zone. Shot back behind the Thunderbird net, passed across.
Looks like there's a little scrum going on at the face-off there.
Played here by the Thunderbirds trying to get it out. Buffalo's able to keep it in their offensive zone. Played along the boards in the corner. Get a pinch there as you see some of that physical play. There's a good check along on the boards behind the goal. These Buffaloes, they're really coming after him today. Thunderbirds trying to play it out and controlled in the neutral zone here by the Buffaloes, and they'll dump it back down into the defensive zone of the Thunderbirds, and they'll get a switch, get some new fresh legs out here on the ice. Another scrum started up along the boards, and a good pass in front, quick shot, but it goes wide. The Buffaloes unable to get an opportunity there. Another shot here is shot deflected aside by the goaltender Palumbo. Buffalo's doing a good job keeping this puck down in their offensive zone and getting opportunities. Another chance here, but hit and deflected away by the Thunderbirds, and they'll get a dump and they'll get some fresh legs on ice. As the Buffaloes controlling their defensive zone, start their own breakout. Pass along, and this will get all the way down the ice, and we'll have an icing call here and bring it back into the Colorado defensive zone.
Chip, I don't know if you're noticing, but tensions seem to be running high here on the ice. I'm seeing a lot of face-offs being taken, a lot of checks thrown, and this might turn into a little bit of a brawl.
We'll see how it turns out as this face-off is taken in the Colorado defensive zone by the Buffaloes. Puck shot across to the far side. Check late applied there. Two teams battle for it behind the Colorado goal. Buffalo's trying to clear this one out of their defensive zone, and it appears they're going to be able to do that, but this pass unable to be played in the neutral zone by the Buffaloes, and this will go for an icing as it passes along. We'll bring the puck back down to the Colorado defensive zone. Face-off taken there. Played behind the net by the Buffaloes. Thunderbirds close in chase. Buffaloes try and play this one out of their defensive zone. Coming down, shot here is gloved by the goaltender Palumbo.
Again, a little hostility in front of the net. Seems like both these teams are getting a little agitated with each other.
That's one of the things I heard one of the Thunderbirds players talking about before this game when I was around and near their locker area, is how physical this game was last year, and I'm sure they expected it, and it's proven to be coming with quite that kind of flair to this style of game.
Well, I'm glad this game isn't turning out to be that game last season, because the Colorado Thunderbirds ended up taking to them 9-2, and this is becoming a much better game than that.
Buffalo's playing into their offensive zone here, looking for a pass across, and that pass goes unplayed by the Buffaloes. They try and control it here behind the Thunderbirds' goal.
Hard check by number 18 on number 9, Colorado.
Played in the neutral zone. Colorado tries to dump it here. They'll get it through with no icing called. Played by the Thunderbirds as they try and break it out. Pass across play in the neutral zone. Looking for an opportunity here. Shots deflected up into the netting and out of play, and this will give us a stoppage. Colorado Buffaloes leading 2-0 here in the first period with 11:15 to play. So looking at this Buffaloes team, as we were talking about some new, young, fresh guys coming in and trying to recover from what they faced last year against this Thunderbird team, so far, looking pretty good.
Playing well together. Playing very well together, Chip. You know, you just don't know how people are going to play together. They may play well by themselves or on other teams, but you just never know how they're going to play together, and that's all we're learning right now.
So far looking good as the Buffaloes try and play it up here in their offensive zone. Looking for an opportunity. They'll have a shot here, but that'll be saved by the goaltender Palumbo. We'll get a stoppage of play with 10:58 remaining in the first period. Well, you look at some of these players, you look at 10 of them were on this same club last year. 10 of them came up from the junior varsity level with the same two coaches they had last year. could be something to help him out.
That could definitely be a factor, Chip. You see, the coaching is definitely going to contribute to how the team plays together, and I feel like with these new players coming up from D3 joining the D2 team, we're going to see a lot of existing coercion between the players.
Thunderbirds try and play it here in their offensive zone to get an opportunity to get some points on the board, but unable to do so. And the Buffaloes play that opportunity away, but staying in the offensive zone for the Thunderbirds. This will be cleared out. Played in the defensive zone by Gustav Olofsson. Passes into the neutral zone, played by the Thunderbirds. They'll try and get an offensive opportunity set up. Good check along the near side boards. Played behind the net by the Thunderbirds. And the Buffaloes able to take the puck away and chip it out into the neutral zone. We'll have a whistle here. Referees call for a stoppage of play. Go for a face-off in the defensive zone of the Colorado Thunderbirds on the far side. Played away by the Colorado Thunderbirds, looking up ice. Big check there laid along the near side boards. We'll have another whistle to stop play with 9:55 remaining in the first period. Mike McGrath doing the goaltending duty for the Colorado Buffaloes, wearing number 1.
You know, for a freshman, Chip, he's doing a great job at this point, having a lot of glove saves, stick saves, you know, very important contributions to the team.
So far doing his job, keeping the Thunderbirds off of the board as the score is 2-0 in favor of the Colorado Buffaloes. Shot here from mid-ice on the point, deflected and then shot off of the post. Played behind the net now by both teams. In front of the net, shot opportunity deflected away, out of play into the netting. We'll have another stoppage with 9:32 as the Thunderbirds will get a new shift on there, get some fresh legs. Colorado will stick with the same 5 that had been playing. Charles Coleman to take the face-off for the Buffaloes. Thunderbirds clear it out of their defensive zone. Coming out to play it is Owen for the Thunderbirds, but the Buffaloes able to take the puck away, but Thunderbirds able to keep it inside their offensive zone. Looking for an opportunity. The Buffaloes are doing a good job not allowing in front of the net opportunities for this Thunderbirds club so far. This one played along the ice toward the near side and into the neutral zone. The Buffaloes will get a couple of fresh legs as they get a quick shift change here. Buffaloes break it out of their defensive zone, but played in the neutral zone by the Thunderbirds. And they'll dump it down behind the net, come along the boards to the far side. Both teams try to play it behind the Buffaloes' goal. Play to the near side as the Buffaloes try and get this one out of their defensive zone. The Thunderbirds looking to get themselves an opportunity to try and get some points on the board. Unable to keep it in their zone and get into the neutral zone. The Buffaloes will get a dump here and give some chase, trying to get another opportunity to boost their lead. A dump in front of the net, but a whole bunch of Thunderbirds there able to.
Oh, great job of keeping it in the zone there, Chip.
That was a good job. They tried to get a breakout, but unable to do so. Able to do so here as the Buffaloes will reset, dumping it into the neutral zone, get a dump by the Thunderbirds, and they'll try and get an offensive setup here. Buffaloes looking to play it out of their defensive zone. Pass up by the Thunderbirds, looking for an opportunity here. And the Buffaloes will send it down ice and get the whistle for icing here. I think what we saw there was a good job by the Thunderbirds keeping the puck away from their goal and in their offensive zone. but unable to really give themselves an opportunity to get some good shots. Buffalo's doing a good job keeping clean shots away from this Thunderbird team.
Very right, Chip. Very few pass-shoot combinations by the Thunderbirds.
They're looking for a chance here. They get a shot in front and deflected aside, but the rebound is put in by the Colorado Thunderbirds. Looks like the goal will be scored by number 23, Mitchell Bailey. And that'll be the first one for the Thunderbirds, getting them on the board. Score now 2-1 with 7:08 remaining in the first period. What'd you see there in that goal, Zach?
I saw just a great rebound. He was in the right place at the right time. Turn and shoot. That's all it takes.
Sometimes that is all it takes, is just being the right spot and just getting that deflection right your way and picking up that rebound and putting it in. That's exactly what he did. Puck played now behind the Thunderbird goal, and this will be played up by the Thunderbirds, and they'll look for a break here, but kept in by the Colorado Buffaloes. They have been persistent in keeping that puck in their offensive zone. This one will be shot over top of the Thunderbirds bench and out of play. We'll have a whistle here. With 6:43 remaining in the first period, the Colorado Buffaloes leading 2-1 over the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds. So looking at the highlighted player, number 10, Alex Lencioni. What have you seen from him so far today, Zach?
You know, I've seen some good movement, but I haven't seen anything anything too spectacular. I'm not trying to discount him, but he is just moving the puck, and that's partly what it takes.
And there's certainly plenty of time left in this hockey game for Alex to do some of these things that Coach Sullivan and Coach Fife told us about. We'll be hoping to see that as this puck is played now in the neutral zone. Buffalo's taken into their offensive zone, looking for a dump toward the middle. Deflected away by the Thunderbirds. Now played behind the net, looking for a cross. Thunderbirds able to break it out of their defensive zone, now bringing it up onto the offensive. Deflected aside by the goaltender McGrath, and the Buffalo's able to clear it out of their defensive zone. Dumped down now by the Thunderbirds, look to give chase as the Buffaloes try to clear it out. Got a shot pass there, playing the neutral zone, now brought up, dump back, shot opportunity, deflected away by the goaltender. The Buffaloes look to keep it in, and they do. Another shot opportunity here is deflected away. Buffalo certainly showing some persistence, continuing to battle down their offensive zone and keep on the aggressive here.
We're seeing some fancy stick work as well. We're seeing some drop passes and things like that, which are really, really a great aspect of the game.
There's Lencioni putting some pressure on the forecheck here. Thunderbirds able to break it out of their defensive zone. Lencioni trying to play the puck there. Unable to do so effectively to keep it in. But the Buffaloes get a dump here, and they'll give chase as some fresh legs come onto the ice for the Colorado Buffaloes. Puck played along the boards in the corner on the far side in the Thunderbird zone as the Thunderbirds and Buffaloes battle to get this cleared out or to get an opportunity here. Thunderbirds looking to clear it out, and they're able to do so against that resilient Buffalo team that keeps it in their offensive zone so well so far. Opportunity there is deflected away by the Thunderbird defenseman. Puck played along the far side boards in the Thunderbird zone. Thunderbirds look up ice, looking to get a break here. Able to kick it into the neutral zone. Get a dump and give some chase as the Buffaloes try to play it out of their zone. This puck will go the length of the ice. No icing as it's controlled there by the goaltender, Alex Palumbo, and he'll call for a stoppage of play, and we'll have a face-off in the Thunderbirds' defensive zone. 2-1, the Buffaloes leading, 4:04 remaining in the first period. Buffalo's getting off to a quick start, getting 2 quick goals. Thunderbirds able to respond as we're now 2-1, the Buffalo's leading. Thunderbirds cleared out of their zone, played in the neutral zone, and the Buffalo's able to dump it down back toward the Thunderbird defensive zone of the ice. Played in the middle, shot deflected in off of the goaltender, Mackover, and that goes for a goal for the Colorado Buffaloes, and they move ahead 3-1 on the goal there.
You know, Chip, Billy Haig, he just made a great move on the goaltender right there. He pulled him to the left and shot right. And it just kind of got the goalie off balance a little bit, was able to move the puck around his body, got it right into the net. Beautiful score.
He did a good job there creating more space for himself, as you said, pulling that goaltender to his left and then getting the deflection off of the elbow of the goaltender to get the goal for the Colorado Buffaloes, moving them ahead 3-1. Buffaloes play it up here in the Thunderbird defensive zone for the Thunderbirds, and the Thunderbirds clear it out and send it the length of the ice. Icing waved off by the referee. Buffaloes trying to clear it out of their zone. Thunderbirds doing a good job keeping it in, trying to get themselves a scoring opportunity here. Seeing that physicality continue as these teams are real chippy around the boards. Any opportunity they get to put a hit on somebody, they're going to do it.
Exactly. It's almost seeming like sometimes they go out of their way to do so, and it's very interesting to watch these referees and how closely they're starting to watch these players.
Thunderbirds try and clear it out of their zone here. The Buffaloes going to keep fighting as they have to, keep on the offensive against this team. There is a thin line sometimes with being too aggressive and just being a good hockey team. And the Buffaloes are trying to walk that line, keeping the aggression on and keeping that physical play on here against the Thunderbirds. Good opportunity there in front of the net is deflected wide. Buffaloes trying to get something going here again. Thunderbirds able to do a good job of clearing that one out. And a one-time quick shot in front slapped in by the Colorado Thunderbirds will cut the lead to 3-2. A good job there by the Thunderbirds, able to set up right in front of the net, get a smooth pass right across, and Corey Massinati one-time touches it right past the goaltender, Mike McGrath, cutting the Buffalo lead to 3-2 with 2:23 remaining. What'd you see on that play, Zach?
You know, I saw him penetrate the zone, and I saw them pass once, and you know, Corey Massinati, he just put a great shot on. Nothing really much to it. He just snuck it by the goalie. Beautiful, beautiful play.
Certainly was a great combination of a setup pass and a quick, well-placed shot to get the second goal for the Thunderbirds. Puck played in the offensive zone here by the Thunderbirds. Buffaloes will clear it out of their defensive zone. And the Thunderbirds will reset on their own side of the ice, looking for another opportunity here as this goes down the length of the ice. And Alex Lencioni starts to bring it up, passes across for the Buffaloes. They'll get a dump and give chase here, as that'll be covered up by the goaltender, Alex Palumbo.
You know, like you were saying, Chip, it is a fine line that they walk. You know, you don't want to cost your team any penalties, and you don't want to have anyone shorthanded. So you have to plan those checks very strategically. You don't want to have any of that happening.
That's true. The penalties you can deal with, and then there's also just being out of place on a play if you're focusing on getting a hit. So we'll see how they can do it strategically, keep it up, keep that physicality going against this younger, athletic team they're facing tonight in the Colorado Thunderbirds. Looking for another opportunity here, and they're able to get it. The Thunderbirds pull the goaltender out of position, get the pass across, and able to one-time another one in to tie this score up at 3-3. As that goal was scored by number 17, Ty Spratt, for the Colorado Thunderbirds.
You know, Chip, Ty was he was skating down the center, and he saw an opening, and he took it, and that's all it takes. You know, he just made a great move. Wide open net on the left-hand side. Goalie had no idea.
Thunderbirds play it up here into their offensive zone, looking for the go-ahead goal, as they've now been able to tie it up here against the Buffaloes. We'll have a whistle and a penalty call here against Jeff Palmer, as the Buffaloes will go shorthanded and put the Colorado Thunderbirds on the penalty kill.
You know what, Chip? I'm surprised it lasted this long without a penalty. It's been a very, very physical game.
It has been a physical game so far, at least playing disciplined enough or getting away with it. So we'll see how the Buffaloes are in their first penalty kill of the evening against the power play of the Thunderbirds. An attempt to clear it hits the referee, and Thunderbirds able to corral it in the neutral zone, and they'll try and come on the offensive here as the puck's played up by Gustav Olofsson. Olofsson brings it in the middle, comes across to Massanati. Massanati back to Olofsson. And Colorado looking for a clearer hit down on the ice there. Buffalo's doing what they can to try and help stop the Thunderbirds from setting up an easy offense here with the man advantage. Massanati plays it back down on the near side boards. Going back behind the goal. Thunderbirds looking for an opportunity. Gustafson's shot goes wide of the net. We're getting near the end of the period with 20 seconds remaining. Thunderbirds battling here to try and get one with the penalty kill. Played up to the far side, now coming toward the middle. Shot opportunities deflected in front. Thunderbirds battling, but Buffalo's able to chip the puck back behind the net. This one's played along the boards, and this will bring us right to the end of the first period of play here at the Bombay Ice Center on the University of Colorado campus in Boulder, Colorado. A 3-3 matchup so far. We've seen a lot going on so far in this hockey game. A lot of physical play from the Buffaloes, a lot of aggressive play, keeping it in their offensive zone. And we'll see what we're going to have when we come back. We'll take a break. 3-3. First period is over. We'll take our intermission. We'll be back with some more hockey after this. Quite a first period of play here at the Bombay Ice Center on the University of Colorado campus. A 3-3 tie so far. Zach, what have you liked? What have you enjoyed watching so far in that first period of hockey?
Well, it's like my dad always used to say, you know, I went to a hockey game and a fight broke out. Went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing high physicality, high movement, and that's what's really making it great. But one thing I've also noticed is the traffic in front of the net. Both these teams are having very good movement in front of the net. They're pushing each other out, but at the same time, they're keeping certain people in front of the net to keep those rebounds going towards the goal, and that's one of the key plays in trying to put those rebounds in.
Certainly both teams have been keeping up to that physical, tough level of play. The Buffaloes laying it on early, the Thunderbirds responding. Both teams going back and forth in that sense, and both teams able to get the same amount of opportunities, you say. It's been balanced so far. Both teams able to get 3 points on the board. So 3 goals scored by each team. And that's where we are now. We'll take a look at some of the statistics. They got the 3 goals. Goals scored, first goal by Last for the University of Colorado. Coming back, Komats. And then Thunderbirds able to get on the board with the goal by Bailey.
What we're seeing here, Chip, you can notice, is that the first 2 goals by CU happened very quickly. And, you know, that's also a testament to momentum and how that works for a team's advantage. Also, the first 2 goals by the Thunderbirds were scored in the same way in a very quick manner, and I think that that's just definitely a testament to how the momentum moving in the right direction can help you put the puck in the net without actually having any outright skill.
The Buffaloes doing a good job early, getting those first 2 goals quickly. Thunderbirds responding, not giving up, staying up to pace with this physical level of play and getting those 2 goals. And those 2 goals they got at the end, second and third goal, both scored quickly in transition, coming down to the other side of the ice, getting good passes, good setups, and scoring those 2 goals. So now let's go back down to Michelle, who caught up with a familiar face that we may recognize here around the Bombay Ice Center, former Colorado coach, now coaching with the Colorado Thunderbirds.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jeff Palmer for the D2 hockey game. And you guys are getting ready to play the Thunderbirds tonight for your preseason first home opener, I guess you could say.
Home opener, yeah.
Alrighty, it's a new team, new dynamics. How are you feeling about everything?
You know, it's a lot different from last year. We got different coaches. We got only 6 or 7 returning guys. It's just a whole new attitude. We're real strong on defense, and up front we're a little weaker, but we'll work on it. So, yeah.
Okay. And you yourself are a returner.
I am.
So how are you looking to lead this team this season?
Well, just keep my defense in line. I mean, it's my 4th year here. I know the ropes, and it's going to be a fun year.
Yeah. So. Okay. And with the younger players that are new to the team, how do you feel that they're clicking with everyone else, and how do you think the coaches are making an impact so far?
Well, the coaches, it's a little different year this year because the coaches are a lot younger, and I mean, they're only a couple years older than me,
Okay.
so it's a little different. So it kind of brings everybody together. We have a lot more in common. I mean, and it's going to be a good year because of that.
Alrighty.
So.
Well, good luck tonight, and
well,
thanks
you.
for talking to us.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Michelle. And of course, that was Jeff Palmer. I was mistaken. It was not the coach in mind that I had who is now working with the Colorado Thunderbirds. So that was great for Michelle to catch up with Jeff Palmer, see Jeff out there playing, one of the more veteran players with the Colorado Buffaloes club. And we've seen him for 4 years now. His 4th year here with the club. And it's good to see some of that veteran know-how with this club. As we talked about, a lot of seniors graduating, with 14 seniors leaving this club from last year. It's good to have some guys like Jeff Palmer, like Alex Lencioni, who are 4-year players, to guide some of these newcomers, such as Riley Ryan, who we saw Michelle speak with earlier.
Right, and I don't want to call him exactly a father figure, Chip, but the kids on the ice, they need that. They need someone that's been there, that's a veteran to the team, a veteran to the program, to kind of show them the ropes, show them how things work in Colorado. And it's an interesting dynamic, and I'm sure everyone's getting along perfectly as far as we've seen.
So far, it has seemed so. They're coming off to a great quick start here, which is something I think this club needed to do in response to the way they played this Colorado Thunderbird team last year. Going up to their barn, getting beat down 9-2, not looking like a competitive team against a bunch of younger, quick, athletic, talented players, but now coming back, putting it to them, and playing some good, even hockey so far against this Colorado Thunderbirds team.
And I feel like that's where a lot of the physicality and the drive is going. These two teams are displaying a lot of that, and that's mostly because they want to show that they're on their home ice. They had to come back and prove themselves here.
We'll see how it carries on into the second period. 3-3 the score so far after 1 period of play. We'll take another quick break, and we'll return with some more hockey action here at the Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. Welcome back to the Gordon Bombay Ice Center here at the University of Colorado, where we have a 3-3 tie between the Colorado Buffaloes and the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds after one period of play. 3 goals scored by each team. Zach, tell me something you've liked about some of the goals scored, which goals you've enjoyed, and some of the play you've seen between these clubs so far.
You know what? Basically, Chip, I just like how they're keeping it busy, and by that I mean they're staying in front of the net, they're staying after the puck, they're not letting it go, they're not letting it pass the neutral zone, they're keeping it in the zone, and they're keeping it in front of the net, and they're using this trash, this garbage, these rebounds, to just throw the puck in the net. And doesn't have to be the prettiest goal, doesn't have to be the most successful goal, it just has to go in the net, and that's what's happening.
So the Buffaloes went ahead 2-0. Thunderbirds came back with a goal. Buffaloes up 3-1. Thunderbirds got a goal, and then it was 3-2, and the Thunderbirds not backing down, coming back to tie this game up as they scored their 3rd goal late in the first period.
Right. There was basically no unanswered goals. Here we go to the replay.
And it was a fast-moving play. The Thunderbirds were in transition, got the puck into their offensive zone quickly, and the Buffaloes unable to get a good defense set up, a good pass across, chipped in there on that one-time slap. And 3-3, that's where it takes us now. So with that, let's go down to Michelle Toviv, who has some more information for us. Hi, Michelle.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here as the players are getting ready to go back on the ice for the second period. It's been a great game so far. The CU definitely got an early lead with the first 2 goals up there, but I think they got a little too comfortable out on the ice. It's turning into a little bit more of a physical game later in the period, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more penalties as we get further into the game. I talked to Alex Lencioni a little bit before, and he was saying that he wants to push his team forward, and so I'm sure that's what they're going to focus on the rest of the game. That's all I got down here. Back up to you.
Thank you, Michelle, and we'll see how Lencioni's able to push that team forward to get that fire going again that we saw early on in the first period for the Colorado Buffaloes, as they were able to maybe turn it off the accelerator a little bit and let the Thunderbird team back into this game as they tied it up 3-3. Let's take a look at that last goal that the Thunderbirds were able to get right before the end of the first period. Excuse me, we'll scratch that as the teams have now made their way back out onto the ice. And we are ready for the second period of action. The Colorado Buffaloes, reminder, will begin on the penalty kill, as that penalty has not yet run out. They'll have 50 seconds of a power play given up to the Colorado Thunderbirds. What are you looking for in this second period out of both clubs, Zach?
Well, you know what? First of all, Chip, these 50 seconds seem like an hour in some hockey games, They're very, very detrimental. They can change the entire shift of the game, the way everything is, all the momentum's moving. So it's going to be interesting to see how this penalty will play out for the Thunderbirds, see if they can get a quick goal off the start here.
We'll see if the Buffaloes are able to kill out this final 50 seconds of this first period, the first penalty of this game. Back in the defensive zone and for the Thunderbirds as they try to set up their power play here, bringing it up ice into the neutral zone. And the Buffaloes able to clear it out and send it down the ice, played there by Alex Palumbo, the goaltender for the Colorado Thunderbirds. Even on the penalty kill, the Buffaloes are staying aggressive on a forecheck. Played in the neutral zone here by the Thunderbirds and now dumped down behind the goal of the Colorado Buffaloes and shot up into the netting and out of play. So with 41 seconds passed in the second period, so far the Thunderbirds unable to set anything up, take advantage of that 50 seconds of power play to begin the second period. There's a look at that 3rd goal by the Colorado Thunderbirds that they were able to squeeze in the first period to even the score.
One of the only goals tonight with the wide open net like that, Chip, and it's basically from just good puck position and good handling and a nice pass across the ice to move the goalie.
The Buffaloes complete the penalty kill with no goal scored. We'll stay 3-3 as both teams move to full strength. Here with just under 19 minutes remaining in the second period of play. Puck flipped up into the neutral zone. Good hard hit applied there by Tyler Moore. The whistle will blow and we'll get fresh skaters on the ice by both teams. We'll get a neutral zone face-off here, controlled by the Buffaloes. Looking to move it up into their offensive zone, taken by the Thunderbirds. Passed across, trying to clear it out. We'll get a good pass into the middle of the ice. Taken now by the Buffaloes as they move on the offensive. Good shot there, but off the right side post. Good opportunity by the Buffaloes. Get one. Another shot here, and this one gets into the top of the net. Goal, Colorado Buffaloes. And there they are back again with that lead. And the goal scored by number 18, Chase Kamatz. The Buffaloes moving ahead 4-3 with a minute 40 pass so far in the second period, getting back to having that lead over the Colorado Thunderbirds.
Again, Chris, Chase just got in the right place at the right time, picked up that easy rebound off the goalie, Palumbo, and was able to just stick it up there into the left-hand side of the net. Beautiful.
Buffaloes had an opportunity. They took a shot, and you played that rebound. That's that grinder, dump chase, get those chippy shots, and take the opportunities you get. And the Buffaloes doing just that, regaining the lead 4-3. The net comes out of position here. This will call for a stoppage with 7:52 remaining in the second period of play here at the Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. 4-3, the Colorado Buffaloes leading the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds. Some new skaters will make their way onto the ice for the Buffaloes as they take this face-off in their defensive zone. Alex Lencioni will take the face-off for the Buffaloes. Controlled by the Thunderbirds. We'll give it a dump down behind the Buffaloes' goal. Buffaloes look to play this one out. And they'll get a flip, but controlled and kept in by the Colorado Thunderbirds, and they'll stay on the offensive here against the Buffs. The Buffaloes clear it out of their defensive zone, and they look to move on the offensive themselves. And an offsides will be called here. Get a stoppage and get a neutral zone face-off. Fresh skaters come out for both teams. Bozeman will make his way in now to take the face-off for the Thunderbirds, controlled by the Thunderbirds in their defensive zone. Massinati passes across, controlled by the Thunderbirds. They try to move it into their offensive zone, sticking in the neutral zone. The Buffaloes look to control the puck here. Massinati skates it forward, but the Buffs are able to play it out of his control. Thunderbirds looking to set something up here on the offensive. Played behind the net. And we have a penalty call as that hand goes up in the air.
Massinati and Brian Kelly getting into a little bit of a skirmish there.
And it looks like Massinati will go to the bench for the Thunderbirds, and this will be the first man advantage for the Colorado Buffaloes in today's game. So they'll go on the penalty kill for the first time. Massinati to see 2 minutes in the bad boys room. Buffaloes leading 4-3.
And you know, in such a physical game, Chip, it's a good thing to see Brian Kelly of the Colorado Buffaloes not retaliate to such an effect and really just stay on the ice for the Colorado Buffaloes.
And it shows some of that maturity you're going to have with some of these guys on the Colorado Buffaloes team. With age and time played, they understand. And there it is, getting that power play goal and shooting it in for the Colorado Buffaloes is number 18, Chase Kamatz, putting the Buffaloes ahead 5-3, so not too much time on the power play before we see something happen.
Not at all. Two quick goals by Kamatz. Obviously knows what he's doing here. Gets a quick pass from the corner. Excuse me, just moves it around the corner and just puts it over the left-hand shoulder of the goalie, Palumbo.
5-3, the Buffaloes leading now, and that will warrant a goalie change as Palumbo makes his way to the bench in favor of Chase Horton, number 95, coming in to take control of the net for the Colorado Thunderbirds. We'll see how well he's able to do against this offensive onslaught so far we've seen from the Buffaloes. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5 after the goal by Kamatz. Good hard hit on the near side boards. Thunderbirds looking to break this one out and get it out of their zone. Play it in the neutral zone by Bailey, and he'll give it a dump down behind the Buffaloes goalie. Thunderbirds trying to get themselves something up, set up here in response. Couple opportunities there, some deflection. The hand goes up in the air, warranting another penalty. We've got a broken stick on the ice behind the Buffaloes goal. We'll see what the call is here, as it looks like number 12 for the Colorado Buffaloes, Sam Kinney, will be going to the penalty box for the Buffaloes.
Chip, he is not happy about that call either.
He certainly isn't. You see some of the reaction shown there as he gets into the penalty box and throws the remainder of his broken stick. So the Thunderbirds once again on the power play. We'll see how that penalty kill plays out for the Buffaloes, as we saw it successful in between the end of the first and the beginning of the second period so far. Thunderbirds looking to get something set up here, controlling on the perimeter. Anderson looking for an opportunity, shoots from mid-range, but deflected aside by McGrath. And the Buffaloes are able to get it clear, and they send it down the ice.
Ooh, hard bounce off the boards.
Buffalo staying aggressive on the forecheck here, even though they're a man down. The Thunderbirds playing it up here now, coming past the neutral zone. Get a bump into their offensive zone, looking for an opportunity, shot high, blocked by McGrath, and the Buffaloes able to play it out. Buffaloes will get a few fresh skaters out as 3 men shoot to the bench and 3 men come onto the ice. Thunderbirds looking to set something up with just under a minute remaining in this power play. Coming in front of the ice here, a good move, and McGrath shooting to his right to make a great save there for the Buffaloes. Keeping this puck in action.
You know, McGrath, for being such a young goaltender, and even a small goaltender at that, he's doing a great job keeping the puck out of the net.
The team doing a good job here so far on the penalty, controlling and keeping the Thunderbirds from getting too many opportunities. Continue here as the Thunderbirds try and set something up. Passing around on the perimeter in their offensive zone. Played now behind the net. Good check there by the Buffaloes. Disrupting that smooth setup of a penalty, or excuse me, of a power play. And the Buffaloes able to clear it out here again. Thunderbirds playing it in their zone, trying to get a pass up ice, and they'll have an icing call against them, as this one's unable to be played in the neutral zone by the Thunderbirds and makes its way all the way down beyond the Colorado Buffaloes goal, and we'll come to the Thunderbird side of the ice with 1 second remaining on the power play for the Thunderbirds. Brennan Steinecker takes the face-off for the Buffaloes. They move back to even strength, try and control it, and get an opportunity to set up here on their offensive side of the ice. Lencioni trying to play it behind the net, taken away from him by the Colorado Thunderbirds. Lencioni applying a good hard check and forcing icing by the Colorado Thunderbirds, which will bring the ice back down to the offensive zone for the Colorado Buffaloes. 5-3 the score, 13:56 remaining in the second period. The Buffaloes once again going up 2 goals to start the period. Like Michelle talked about in the first period, we should say they may have let off the gas a little bit, loosened up. They're hoping not to let the same thing happen here with the 2-goal advantage.
Another aspect could be also, Chip, that they're playing a very physical game, which also drains a lot of your physical energy, and could be slowing down in that respect as well.
That's true. You could see that happening as the time wears down in each of these periods. Buffalo's hoping that does not persist and carry over to this period, and they're hoping to keep their lead as they battle here. Lencioni taking it behind the net now, looking for someone, and unable to get a good setup there. Buffalo still control the puck, looking for an opportunity. They'll have one here. Shot just past the glove of the goaltender. Horton flicks it aside. The Buffalo still trying to play. Another opportunity here. Shot goes wide and out of play, and we'll have a stoppage. Couple good chances there for the Buffaloes, getting some good shots, setting themselves up well. Got to say, Chase Horton doing a pretty good job coming into this game for the Thunderbirds, and stopping from any scores happening right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, we're starting to see more shots from above the hash marks, which is a different aspect to the game that we didn't see in the first period.
So we'll set up with a neutral zone face-off here, controlled by the Thunderbirds in their zone. Look to pass it up into the neutral zone, get it out. Buffaloes give that dump and chase that they love to use on their offensive. Looking for another opportunity in the middle here. Thunderbirds able to play it away from the Colorado Buffaloes. Buffaloes take it away in their own side of the ice. Let's start their own breakout. And offsides will be called here as the Thunderbirds unable to get back around and reset before moving into their offensive zone. We'll have a neutral zone face-off on the far side of the ice in front of the Thunderbirds bench. Chase Coleman to take the face-off for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes control in their defensive zone. Pass up into the neutral zone played by Coleman. He'll give dump and chase. Looking to get something set up here again are the Buffaloes. Shot opportunity deflected aside. Kamatz controls it for the Buffaloes, looking for something. Deflected away by the Thunderbirds. Buffaloes doing a good job keeping that on their offensive side of the ice, as they've done so well in this hockey game. We saw it in the first period. We see it continuing on now into the second period, keeping that aggression on, keeping the puck in the offensive side for the Buffaloes.
Absolutely. I'm also seeing the defense taking a lot more shots for the Colorado Buffaloes defense, and from that, they're getting a lot more rebounds for those offensemen to just get in there and try to put it in the net.
And that's that style of hockey they like to play. They keep grinding, putting in the over effort to force to wear a team down and get opportunities wherever you can with the rebounds or set up quick shots. Thunderbirds looking to clear it out and set up their own offensive here. And there's a situation there. Massinati taking himself out of the play and maybe getting more aggressive than he needs to be, going for a hit when he could have continued playing the puck.
You know, as the game goes on, that might happen more and more, Chip. These kids are getting a little more and more tired and more frustrated with each other.
We'll have a stoppage here as Horton controls the puck. And that's something at a younger age you'll see with a little less maturity. If your team isn't doing as well and say you're losing by a goal, 2 goals as they are now, it's maybe more difficult for them to keep their composure and to avoid those opportunities to take those hits and to put themselves out of a play being too aggressive. Buffalo's looking to keep it in their offensive zone. Puck played along the near side boards out to the point and able to clear it out of the Thunderbirds. And the Buffaloes try to flip it back, but the Thunderbirds play it up. Shot around the boards by the Buffaloes. Thunderbirds keep it in their offensive side of the ice. See those hits continuing as these teams play the puck along the boards on the far side. Now coming toward the near side, looking for a breakout are the Buffaloes. They'll get a flip on into the neutral zone. No one there to play for the Buffs. Olofsson passes it across for the Thunderbirds. Looking to get a pass up here, and Thunderbirds skater trip. Completely incidental, no trip laid by the Buffaloes. Played in the defensive zone, and a quick one-time shot by number 22 for the Thunderbirds, and that's Mitchell Cohn as he takes a good quick snapper, puts it up on the left side upper 90 and sneaks it past Mike McGrath. That'll move the score 5-4. Buffalo still leading, but has their lead cut as we take a look at this goal scored by Mitchell Cohn. Quick as it was, he gets it as it comes across into the middle and slaps it right into the net, cutting the lead to 5-4. 10:40 remaining here in the second period. Buffalo's leading 5-4 over the visiting Thunderbirds. This puck is played out of the Colorado zone all the way down the ice behind their goal, and we'll have a penalty called here. And it looks like this will go against the Colorado Thunderbirds. Referees discuss.
Number 12, Sam Kinney of the Colorado Buffaloes, showing some aggression out there on the ice. That's what I'm saying. You got, with these younger teams, you'll see a lot of that, but, you expect the maturity of certain players to overcome that and show that these kids that, you know, that's not necessarily the way.
And I was mistaken. The penalty was against the Colorado Buffaloes. Cody Glickman will go to the penalty box for the Buffaloes, and this will put the Thunderbirds back on the one-man advantage. And they'll test their luck on the power play once again against the Colorado Buffalo penalty kill. Thunderbirds with shot opportunity, deflect aside. They try again, poking, but the Buffaloes able to defend the shot, and they send it out of play unintentionally. We'll take a look down to Michelle Toviv. We'll catch up with Michelle Toviv, who has a little bit of information. Michelle, what do you have for us?
Go. Okay. All right. I'm standing here with Ben Gerard, who is a Thunderbird fan, as it appears. Why don't you tell me who you're here for tonight?
I'm here watching my son, Oliver Nauer, number 42, and the rest of the Thunderbirds.
Alrighty. Tell me what you think of the game so far.
I think it's really great. I think it's good to see both teams skating this fast and getting after it this intense, this early on in both seasons. It's great hockey.
Definitely. Do you think it's helping them out, like set up for the rest of the season?
I think so. I think it's really great that, you know, I guess especially for the Thunderbirds who are kind of more high school U18 guys to be able to play kids at the next level and get them geared up, as well as I think it's a good gear up for the CU team as well, because the teams are pretty evenly matched and even speed and strength.
All right. And do you think it's been fairly called as far as penalties and stuff like that so far?
Yeah, I think the referees are doing a good job of letting them play. They called the penalties they needed to, and I guess it's always good when you get a game that seems to flow without a lot of interruption. So I think it's been good so far.
All right. Well, thank you.
You bet.
All right, thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Mr. Knauer, for that soundbite there. Great to hear from the father of one of these Colorado Thunderbirds and hear about his opinion of the game and coming out to watch his son play as he takes on the Colorado Buffaloes. And with that, that'll close the power play. Another successful penalty kill there by the Colorado Buffaloes. They've done a good job defending when down.
Absolutely, their D is on point right now. I'm seeing a lot of great play from number 5, Jeff Palmer especially. He's getting back to those loose pucks and making it happen for the Colorado Buffaloes.
Palmer, one of Michelle's guests that she spoke with before the game. We heard from Jeff during the intermission break, and he's one of those veteran players on this team who's a real competitor and looking to lead this Buffaloes club. Puck played along the near side board in the Buffalo's offensive zone. Thunderbirds looking to get a breakout here, get out of their zone, and this puck will travel back to the Colorado Buffalo side of the ice. They'll skate it up into the neutral zone, get a pass across. 3-on-2 situation here for the Buffs, looking for another opportunity. Lencioni with a shot, and that's covered up by the goaltender Chase Comance with the shot. Horton covers up. We'll have a stoppage of play. 5-4, the Colorado Buffaloes leading the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds with 7:31 remaining here in the second period of action at the Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. We'll have a face-off here in the Buffalo offensive zone taken by the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds looking to get this one out of their zone, played in the neutral zone, picked off there by the Buffs. They'll give dump, give some chase. We'll have a new skater come onto the ice as the Buffaloes get a quick change. Played into the offensive zone for the Buffaloes, now back into the neutral zone. Dumped down there by the Buffaloes. You see that physicality continuing along the boards, and it's not just one-sided. It's not like these big old guys are picking on these kids.
Not at all. That's a good point. Also a good point by Komatz to say that the refs aren't stopping play. No one wants to watch a game where it's start, stop, start, stop. So it's a great thing to watch them move this It's physical, but at the same time it's moving and it's fun to watch.
It certainly has been fun to watch. We've seen a lot of checks, a lot of big hits, some big hits in the open ice. You like to see that. But all in all, even with the big hits, it hasn't been dirty. You haven't seen cheap shots, which is good. And I think if you were seeing that, these referees would do a good job of calling that and be looking out for that. We'll have another stoppage as this one goes out of play over top of the boards into the netting. We'll take a face-off down in the offensive zone for the Colorado Buffaloes. Billy Haig taking the face-off for the Buffs. Buffs staying very aggressive in their offensive side of the ice. And that hand will go up by the referee. This will be a penalty against the Colorado Buffaloes.
Looks like it might be a holding penalty.
We'll see what the call is. It looks like it's going to be against number 21, Nick Carey. The Buffaloes will go back onto the...
I believe the call was actually a slashing penalty.
So the Colorado Thunderbirds man advantage once again as the Buffaloes have fallen plague to some bad behavior here in the second period. Shot there by Gustav Olofsson is stopped by the goaltender Mike McGrath. Thunderbirds looking to get themselves set up with an opportunity. Look for a pass across, deflected away by the Buffaloes. Played along the near side boards. Thunderbirds fighting to keep it in their offensive zone, get something set up. Buffaloes doing what they can to get that puck out. Olofsson plays it near the blue line. Pass misplayed there by the Thunderbirds. Pass back out to Gustav Olofsson, and his shot is deflected. Thunderbirds able to keep it in. Pass down low, gets it behind the Buffaloes' goal. We'll pass out here to the blue line, pass across to Olofsson at the point. Looking for a pass opportunity, but picked off by the Colorado Buffaloes, and they'll get a dump. Send that thing down the ice and allow the Buffaloes to get 4 fresh skaters out here on the penalty kill. Thunderbirds pass it up, but the Buffaloes pick it off, shoot it out of their zone. Buffs have it behind their own goal and able to find space and send it all the way down ice again. .35 seconds remaining on the penalty kill. Thunderbirds looking to get something set up here and finally get their first power play goal of the game, as the Buffaloes have been flawless so far when allowing the Thunderbirds to get that man advantage. Good hard hit along the near side ice, and the Buffaloes able to clear it out of their defensive zone, forcing the Thunderbirds to skate back down, regather themselves, and try another offensive attack with the man advantage. Played now in the defensive zone for the Thunderbirds, and that'll go as another completed, successful penalty kill for the Buffaloes. Quickly looking to set themselves up with something here as they come on the offensive.
You know what, Chip, it didn't even seem like they lost a man there. They're just playing good, solid D with that man down. They're just having everyone step back a little bit, play the infield, and it's great for them.
They certainly are. They certainly have done a great job on the penalty kill, keeping the Thunderbirds from scoring at all and even keeping them from having many opportunities. Opportunity here for the Buffaloes, and a rebounded shot is saved there by the goaltender Chase Horton. We see some of that aggressive, tough, physical play continue as a little scrap breaks out, but the referee is able to get in between that before anything further.
You know, Chip, you don't want to see anyone get hurt, but at the same time, you want to see that drive, and you want to see that, that momentum to play, and that's what we're here for.
We are, in this face-off taken here by the Colorado Buffaloes, trying to keep on the offensive here. Another opportunity in front of the net, and that's going to be played out and shot down the ice. The referee will wave off icing. The Buffaloes playing it down in their own defensive zone, looking to bring it back up ice. Into the neutral zone, now played in the offensive zone for the Buffaloes. Another opportunity here. Get a shot opportunity set up, and that's deflected away before reaching the goaltender. Buffalo's playing in the neutral zone. Staying aggressive, keeping the pressure on, trying to keep this puck away from their defensive zone. Played here by the Thunderbirds coming into the neutral zone, looking to get their own offensive setup. Buffalo's able to play that away, and that goes over top of the boards into the netting and out of play. One thing I think that's really helping this Buffalo team when they go on to the penalty kill is being set up in a defense. I think the times that the team has been beat with the 4 goals that have been scored, it's been in transition, where they're not getting 4, 5 guys back, and the Thunderbirds score quickly. What happens with the penalty kill is they're forced to keep, 3 guys back, keep that box back, and then they take advantage of having the ability to take that dump without having icing calls. Thunderbirds play it up here, trying to go on the aggressive against the Buffaloes, but the Buffaloes staying out with that physicality and that tough play.
You know what, and with that, Chip, with that defense, it's really interesting to see that a team that's just learning to mend and just learning to come together as a team, to be able to drop down to 4 people and get back and communicate just as well as with 5. It's something you don't see very often.
And they've done a great job of it so far in this hockey game, and we'll see if they have to use it again or they can pick up the behavior and stay out of the box. Puck played here in the offensive zone for the Colorado Thunderbirds. Team scrapping forward on the far side boards. Buffaloes get a break into the neutral zone. Now moving on to the offense, they'll get a dump there. They'll not give chase mostly here as they stay back a bit. Now they lay it on with a big hit, and we'll have a whistle calling a stoppage of play. We'll have a neutral zone face-off on the near side. 5-4, the Buffaloes leading, 2:14 remaining in the second period. Charles Coleman to take the face-off for the Buffaloes. The Thunderbirds controlling their zone. Buffaloes shoot back. Puck played in the neutral zone, now taken up by the Thunderbirds, looking for an opportunity there. Puck misplayed, now gets up against the boards behind the Buffaloes' goal. Thunderbirds keeping it in, shot there, deflected away. Played now behind the goal by the Buffaloes, looking to get a break. Thunderbirds keeping on pressure though, looking to stay in that offensive side of their ice. Thunderbirds with a shot there, deflected away. The Buffalo's doing a good job of creating that traffic that you spoke about earlier, Zach, and keeping guys in front of the net to not give up easy shots, easy passing lanes. And here we see some of that aggressive play as Chase Komatz is really putting it to these guys, and we'll have a whistle calling a stoppage of play as the puck gets covered up there.
You know, although there was a little skirmish, there was some friendly pickup and, hey, I'm helping you up. This is a game, It's good to see that, Yeah,
it's good, tough hockey. He's really putting it on him, but, it was legal hockey. There was nothing there, no cheap shots, and he does help him up. That's good sportsmanship. You like to see that by this Buffalo team. Buffalo's playing it in their defensive zone now, looking for a break. Thunderbirds not getting it up easy, though. Pass back, looking for a shot. Passed in front, and a good play by Horton, the goaltender, to come up and deflect that away. And we'll have a stoppage call as the net comes out of place here. Five to 4, the Buffaloes leading, 51 seconds remaining in the second period. Goal is reset, and we'll have a face-off in the Buffaloes offensive zone, and we'll have about a second of play before we'll go and do the exact same thing all over again. Setting up for the face-off here in the offensive zone of the Buffaloes. Puck played now by the Thunderbirds, looking to break it out of their defensive zone. Played up to Massanati in the neutral zone, passing forward. Buffalo's able to take it there in their defensive zone. Misplayed, but able to deflect it away before giving up an opportunity to the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds trying to play behind the net, looking for an opportunity here to get a shot. Maybe a pass in front. We've got a loose stick on the ice. Thunderbirds looking to keep it inside their offensive zone, unable to do so here as the Buffaloes try to move on to the offensive. This one's going to deflect off of a stick up and over the boards and into the netting, out of play. We're down to 10 seconds remaining in the second period. Buffalo's hanging on to a 5-4 lead. Neither team lightening up whatsoever, I'd say, in the second period. We'll go to another face-off in the offensive zone for the Buffaloes on the far side of the ice. Both teams battle forward inside that face-off circle, controlled by the Buffaloes, looking for something. And Thunderbirds able to take it away. And they'll get a dump toward McGrath, and that'll bring this second period of action to a close. We came into the second period with a 3-3 tie, an even, tough, physical game. We close it with a 5-4 lead for the Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado putting up 2 goals in this second period. The Thunderbirds fighting back with 1 goal, and that's where we are now, 5-4. So looking at this second period, what have you liked that you've seen from both of these clubs, maybe from this Buffalo team, to get a lead again and to hang on to it so far through the second period?
Again, I like that momentum going into the second period. You know, you got to get that first quick goal, and that'll help you get that second goal. And I'm seeing a lot of that from Colorado. And it's almost to the point where it's putting the Thunderbirds back on their heels a little bit. You know, saying we got to stick back a little bit. They're playing a little more timid. And they're less hesitant to pass the puck and more hesitant to dump the puck into the zone. And I think that's a testament to Colorado's defensive play.
One thing I'd like to look at in this second period that you'd never want to see is the penalties. And we came into the second period a man down. We had 3 penalties, full-on 2-minute minors throughout the second period. However, the Buffaloes did a great job of killing off power plays and not giving up any goals when they were down a skater. What did you see there that you liked, and what were they able to do that allowed them to do so?
Well, I feel like they were just able to get back far quicker and just make moves on the puck to play some defense.
All right, we'll go down to Michelle, who's caught up with Brian Kelly. Michelle, what do you have for us?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with freshman, new to the team, Brian Kelly. All right, after 2 periods of play, first preseason game, how are you feeling?
I think we feel pretty good. We're just trying to get our legs under us. It's a first real game, so especially for me, you know, trying to get used to the team and everything, but I think we're holding up well.
Okay, great. And then also just tell me a little bit how you feel new to the team and what leadership you're getting from the older players.
I feel great. Don't really feel like a new guy. We only have a couple freshmen, but we also have a lot of rookies this year moving up from the D3 team last year. So definitely welcomed me and showed me the ropes, but looking forward to a good season.
All right, well, thanks for talking to me.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in the last period.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Brian Kelly, and hopefully you do have that good season that you're looking forward to, and we're looking forward to watching it all as well. We'll take a break here. The Colorado Buffaloes leading 5-4 after 2 periods of play here at the Gordon Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. Back with some more, and we'll catch up on how this hockey game's been going after this break. Welcome to the Gordon Bombay Ice Center here in Boulder, Colorado, with the Colorado Buffaloes leading 5-4 over the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds. We saw 3-3 the first period, Buffaloes catching 2 goals, only giving up 1 goal to go ahead 5-4. 1 goal given up with 3 full penalties in the second period. The defense looked solid for this Colorado Buffalo team in that second period, and that's something that the coach Sean Sullivan and his assistant John Fife has stressed for this team, and that's something we've seen so far, and we saw it there big time in that second period.
That's exactly right. We saw great D in the second period, only allowing that 1 single goal. And in talking to John Fife last night, he was looking to bring that element of the game up, that Russian style of defense first, offense second, up to this team in the Division II.
And that's something we've seen with that focus on defense, as the Buffaloes have pounded that defense, stuck to it, and it's led to scoring opportunities, because that's what happens in transition. So let's go to some of those goals as the Buffaloes picked up 2 in the second period. The first one here by Alex Lencioni, who we highlighted early and before this game. Lencioni getting the pass across, finding his spot and picking it with that left-handed shot and squeezing it right by the goaltender Palumbo.
Just sitting in the center there, it made it very easy for him to just flip it up into the net.
And now we'll look at the goal number 5, the second in the period here by Chase Komatz. Komatz skating across, positioning himself very well in front of the net, finding a place and able to beat Palumbo for the 5th goal for the Colorado Buffaloes. The final goal against Alex Palumbo, as he was taken out of the game, relieved there in favor of Chase Horton. And with that, 5-4, we've got a good lead here, but we've got 1 period left, and we'll see what these 2 clubs have if they come back on the ice for the final 3rd period of this game. Buffalo's leading 5-4, stressing that defense, stressing that physicality. We'll see what we have left in this final frame of play. So 5-4, the Buffaloes lead. We'll take 1 more break, and we'll come back with the final and 3rd period of action here at the Gordon Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gordon Bombay Ice Center here on the campus of the University of Colorado in Boulder, Colorado, with the Colorado Buffaloes leading 5-4 as we get ready to begin the 3rd period of action here. We'll shoot it down now to our 3rd member of our broadcast pair. Michelle has caught up with Alex Lencioni. Michelle, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Alex Lencioni, who's a senior on the D2 team. So you guys tonight are getting ready for your first preseason game. What do you expect to come out of tonight?
You know, hopefully we'll see a lot of good things out of our team. Hopefully we'll play a physical game, we'll play fast. The team we're playing has been together for a little bit longer than we have, so it'll be a good first test for us.
Okay, great. Yeah, and like you mentioned, you guys it's a new team, it's a new coaching staff. How do you feel you guys are meshing so far?
You know, I think we have a really good mix of guys. We're all friends on and off the ice, so we hang out, we have fun, and you know, when it comes to play hockey, we're all pretty serious about it, so it works out pretty well.
Great. And then as a senior on the team, you're obviously a leader. How do you expect your leadership role to play out for everyone else?
You know, hopefully I can just help the younger guys along, kind of figure out how to do the whole school and hockey thing. On the ice, it's more of kind of lead by example. You know what it takes to win games. I've been here for 3 years now, and so I just hope to show them, you know, throughout the game how to play and play to the end.
All right, definitely. Good luck with that, and good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Alex. That was, of course, before the game. Michelle caught up with Lencioni. My correction on that. So here we are starting the third period. Buffalo's leading 5-4. We've seen the Buffaloes able to stay aggressive on offense, getting 5 goals so far in this game and good opportunities, setting themselves up, getting some good passes, shots, staying aggressive, picking up rebounds, and doing a good job defensively. They gave up 3 goals, which you would not have liked to see, but they came back stronger defensively in the second period. And from a 9-2 loss last year against this same club, leading 5-4 going into the third period has them in good position to take this game. What are some of the things, Zach, that you'd like to see in this third period?
Mostly, Chip, I'd like to just see that Colorado continues to keep that unified mindset. They're coming in very well for not being a team that plays together so often. This is actually, I believe, their 4th time playing together in a game-type atmosphere, and that's a huge testament to how well they're able to come together as a team. Like they said, they're friends on and off the ice. Maybe that has an impact. I just want to see them continue to coalesce, and it's really exciting for the rest of the season to see what they're made of. You know,
that's certainly true. And you look at this club coming in. We talked about it in the opener. The Colorado Thunderbirds are a young team. The age range of this club ranges between 16 to 18 years of old. But folks, don't sell these guys short at all. This is a very talented club. Very skilled hockey players. A lot of the guys from this club will carry on to very prestigious college programs, junior programs throughout the country. We've seen recent players among these guys' teammates go on to DU, go on to the junior levels of hockey, playing all over the United States. So this is a great hockey team coming in here and playing the Colorado Buffaloes, and the Buffaloes doing a great job of rebounding from what had happened to a team last year against them, bringing these guys into our barn and showing them that they're ready to compete and they're ready to play with this high level of play against this athletic, skilled Colorado Thunderbirds hockey team.
Absolutely, Chip. All the credit to these young Thunderbirds.
And here we are underway as the third period begins at the Bombay Ice Center at the University of Colorado. The Buffaloes looking to go on the aggressive early, just as they have all game, keeping the pressure on this Thunderbirds team. Puck played now down the ice into the offensive zone for the Thunderbirds, but cleared out there by the Colorado Buffaloes. Pass to the neutral zone played there by the Buffs, the Thunderbirds, looking for a shot there, but a good save by Mike McGrath, and he'll lay on his back but cover this puck up, and we'll have the first stoppage of play in the third period.
Great play by McGrath to really keep on top of it. It was stuck between his legs, but still playable, and yet he continued to keep it between his legs, keep control of it, and even though he was on his back, make that save.
We'll have a face-off on the far side of the ice in the Colorado defensive zone. Thunderbirds with a shot there into the belly section of Mike McGrath. This will call for a stoppage of play again, as only a few seconds pass. Massinati setting up for the Colorado Thunderbirds to take the face-off against Brennan Steneker. Shot deflected aside by McGrath. Buffalo's looking to play this one out of their zone. Flipped up into the neutral zone. Buffalo's looking to play it there, try to dump it down in their offensive side of the ice. Keeping it there and no offsides. Excuse me, we do have an offside call. Stoppage of play. We have a few players from each team getting close together, having a brief discussion with each other, probably asking about school and life and how things are going, I'm sure. Buffaloes will call for a shift change. 5 fresh skaters come out for the Buffs. We line up here for a neutral zone face-off. Thunderbirds controlling in their defensive zone, looking for a breakout opportunity here. Buffaloes change the tides in their favor, looking for something, deflected away by the goalie Horton. Horton coming in the second period in favor of the starter Alex Palumbo after Palumbo surrendered 5 goals to the Buffs. Shot opportunity deflected away by Chase Horton. Buffaloes play it behind the net. Shot out to the point. Shot there goes wide. Buffaloes bring it back behind the Thunderbird net and lose control of the puck as it comes out of their offensive zone and into the neutral zone. Thunderbirds play it on their own side of the ice now. Deflecting it toward the Colorado Buffaloes. They'll play it here in the neutral zone and get a dump. Icing waved off, but now called. We'll move back toward the Colorado defensive side of the ice. You get a face-off there with 8:01 remaining here in the third period of play. The Buffaloes looking to keep the pressure on, stay aggressive against this younger, quick, athletic Colorado Thunderbirds team. Good hard hit by the Thunderbirds there, trying to keep that level of toughness up to par with the Colorado Buffaloes. And as the teams fight for the puck along the far side boards, and a penalty had been called, we're going to have a late hit as well against the Thunderbirds after a penalty had already been called against the Colorado Buffaloes.
See, this is the exact type of play that we were talking about, Chip. You know, you let someone get under your skin, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to retaliate, and that's going to put us in the penalty box.
You definitely mentioned that earlier, Zach, and we see it there as the Buffaloes pick up the penalty on a trip along the far side board, and in response to that aggressive play, instead of picking up a power play opportunity for themselves, the Thunderbirds retaliate, and they lose a skater as well, as each team will be matched with a gentleman put into the penalty box. So we'll have matching minors here, 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Played behind the Buffaloes net, both teams competing for the puck there. Buffs will try to clear it out, but a misplayed puck leaves it in front for the Thunderbirds, but the Buffaloes stay true to that defensive mindset, staying back and to play that puck out of the way. Opportunity there. Mitchell Cohn right in front of the net. But a good job by the Buffaloes to not give up a goal. And this will go all the way down the ice. It will be an icing. We'll bring it back to the Colorado side of the ice. So an opportunity there, close one, as the Thunderbirds able to get across right in front of the net. Maybe had McGrath a little bit out of position, but the Buffaloes able to recover. Face-off taken by the Thunderbirds in their offensive side of the ice. Olofsson dumps down to the far side corner. Big hit there on the far side near the Buffaloes bench. 4-on-4 hockey continues. Big open ice hit, few feet off the boards. Puck stays down in the Colorado defensive zone. Thunderbirds staying aggressive playing this puck, not giving in to the physical style of play the Buffaloes have been putting to them all game long. We'll have a whistle call for a stoppage of play here on an offside. Buffaloes will change up some skaters. 41 minutes remaining on the penalties. 4-on-4 hockey continuing. Take a look at this big hit applied there against Gustav Olofsson. Hit applied by Jordan Lochner.
Jordan Lochner coming all the way across ice to make the check as well. We're seeing this a lot during this game. The physicality is almost getting too extreme with players traveling cross ice to make checks.
They're certainly going all out to apply those big hits. There's an opportunity for the Thunderbirds, and McGrath, 2 saves back-to-back, giving up a rebound and then keeping that pad down and getting another save. Another big hit there applied. And this will warrant some attention from the referee, and he'll put his arms wrapped around Alex Dobnansky, excuse me. And as you mentioned, Zach, maybe there's a point where you're pushing it too hard with the aggression and the physical style of play, and it can be costly.
Absolutely, and I feel like they might be hitting that point.
So right here we'll have another set of matching 2-minute minors as these guys, a good hard hit leads to that retaliation. These two guys getting in each other's fights, in each other's faces. You see some contact exchange between the two skaters, enough so that the referee warrants matching penalties. And we'll go to 3-on-3 hockey for 9 seconds. So we'll set up 3 skaters on the ice for each team.
There's that big hit. Dobzhansky and Spratt getting in a brawl there.
The referee's not messing around, as we mentioned, with this game getting too physical, and to not allow cheap shots and to cut that kind of behavior out. So the first round of matching penalties is over. We'll have a stoppage of play as McGrath corrals the puck. So we are at full strength 5-on-5, but each team does have a player in the penalty box following the conflict between Spratt and Dobnansky. Puck played into the Thunderbird defensive side of the ice. Buffalo is looking to keep it in that zone. Thunderbirds doing what they can to clear this puck out of their defensive zone. Picked off in the neutral zone by the Buffaloes. And they'll dump it down behind the net. Thunderbirds don't waste too much time, though, clearing it out of their defensive zone. Moving on to the offensive here against the Buffaloes. Pressure applied against the Buffs, but they're able to clear it out of their defensive zone and get a dump here. A few skaters will change for the Buffaloes. They'll reset on their own side of the ice. You see that physical play continued. Check applied there along the near side boards. Two teams battle for the puck. The neutral zone near center ice. Thunderbirds will dump. McGrath will play it to his defenseman. No easy plays in this game. There's no point at all where either one of these teams has been able to have the puck behind the net in their own defensive zone and control it and wait and let something set up. These teams are putting it on each other, and there's no chance, as we have icing called here. We'll move back down to the Colorado defensive side of the ice. But as I'm saying, these guys are skating hard, and they're putting it to each other. They're really getting on each other's cases, and it's provided some good hockey.
Right. One thing I've noticed, especially, Chip, is that they're doing a lot less passing and play setup and a lot more let's move towards the puck and make a big check. And that's a different style of play, but it's definitely fun to watch.
Opportunity here for the Thunderbirds. And McGrath with the save. Puck played behind the net and cleared out of the defensive zone for the Buffaloes. Buffalo's looking to get this out of their zone. And they'll pass it up into the neutral zone, clearing out of their defensive zone. Thunderbirds looking to set their offense up again, pass across into the neutral zone. Here comes Anderson coming down on the near side. He looks to get a dump, but unable to move the puck cleanly. Passed out to the point, shot from the point. Opportunity here near the net for the Thunderbirds, but McGrath able to keep that blocker pad down and clear this puck away. And Buffalo's battling, and they're able to clear it out of their defensive zone into the neutral zone now, brought up ice.
McGrath is really doing a wonderful job of keeping his legs down against the ice to keep that puck from just trickling in behind him.
All right, and with the stoppage here, we'll toss it down to Michelle, who's caught up with
Awesome.
It's fucking legit. It's great. It's a good time.
We love to win. We
Yeah.
love to see the U.
We're obviously the biggest fans here. We love to come out and support our team. We're here for our school. We got pride. We're here to win. We're here to have a good time. Bottom line. That's what it is.
What do you guys think of the new team? We're good? Okay. Yeah, that was all right.
Thank you, Michelle. And back to the action here on the ice. Colorado controlling it in their offensive zone, looking for a shot opportunity here as they play it around the perimeter. Played behind the net and along the near side boards, back out to the point. Back down near side boards in that corner. Buffalo's looking for something in the middle, play it back around to the perimeter, out to the point, and they'll lose control of it, and this will go into the neutral zone. They'll have to reset.
You know, even though that was a reset for the Colorado Buffaloes there, Chip, I saw some great puck movement around the ice, and that I feel like that's going to make and contribute to another goal here soon.
There was good puck movement, and something we were talking about how they haven't been setting up with a lot of passes. It was something you saw there, and hopefully they can continue to do. Let's get some good, clean passes and set themselves up. Buffalo's looking to get this puck away from the Thunderbirds, controlling it along the boards in the corner on the far side. Buffalo start moving up ice. And able to play it cleanly there, taken away in the neutral zone by the Colorado Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds having trouble holding on to the puck here in the third period.
And that may be one of the things with this being the first game of the year for both teams. I think you've seen some stick work and some passing that had just been off, maybe even fielding a pass. It's just off a little bit, and I think that's some team chemistry, some things of knowing players' tendencies that's got to develop with both of these clubs. An opportunity here, a shot saved by Chase Horton. We'll get a stoppage of play. The Buffaloes actually on a man advantage right now with 17 seconds left on a power play for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes leading 5-4 in the third period, 11:06 remaining. Have a face-off down on the Thunderbird defensive side of the ice. Controlled there by the Buffaloes. Shot attempt deflected. Buffaloes pass it back down behind the goal. Play to the far side boards along the perimeter. And this is going to be bumped out of the offensive zone. Buffaloes will bring it back onto their side of the ice and reset as the power play comes to a close. No goals scored. Successful kill for the Colorado Thunderbirds. Played up ice now by the Buffaloes. Taken away by the Thunderbirds. Played in the neutral zone and dumped down by Alex Lencioni. And we're going to have a call here against Massinati and the Colorado Thunderbirds. Some extracurricular after the puck was dumped by Lencioni. Much to Lencioni's frustration as he followed Massinati over toward the penalty box. This will put the Buffaloes back on the man advantage. The 2-minute minor called against Massinati for the Thunderbirds.
You know, and after the play, that hard right hook is really just unnecessary. maybe a testament to the maturity level, maybe a testament to the furiousness of the game. You know, it could be a combination of things, Chip.
Certainly could be a combination. The frustration of trailing in this game, and perhaps you expected to win after the way the game went last year. You didn't have the expectations of the Buffaloes coming out playing quite so well as they are so far in this game. Thunderbirds able to dump it out of their zone. Puck goes down beyond the Buffaloes' goal. The Buffaloes will set up their power play offense here. Pass into the middle. Played in the offense. The Buffaloes shot deflected away by the goaltender Horton, and a shot at his own benchmates there by Oliver Knauer. Puts it out of play. Minute 22 remaining on the power play. We'll have the face-off down in the far side face-off circle to Chase Horton's right, the goaltender for the Thunderbirds. Face-off played behind Thunderbird net and then dumped away by the Thunderbirds successfully out of the zone. And we have some extracurricular here, and there is a fight breaking out between the Colorado Thunderbirds and the Buffaloes. We've got one group controlled on the ice, another now being controlled along the near side boards, and referees doing a good job of getting in between this, but there you see the aggression, the aggressive play, the physicality going maybe too far, but getting into that point where these teams are really getting after each other, and there you see some extra shots of the illegal variety taken by both teams.
Absolutely. Both these teams want to win so bad, you know, and they don't want to have anything disproved or proven. They just want to play tough, aggressive hockey, and, you know, sometimes it goes a little far.
In some aspects, it's a part of the game, and in some aspects, it's a little too much. But these teams, they've got their issues with each other, it seems. And so far, we've seen in this game where the play has been physical, and there's been times where it's been clean physical play. And there's times like what we just witnessed there where it's a little too much, and that extracurricular after the whistle and after the puck's been played away. And there's definitely some punches thrown, some shots toward the face. We see Chase Komatz come in there to try and help defend his teammate. As we take a look at that replay, we see the referees controlling the fight as best they could.
Just trying to peel the players away from each other, you know, not trying to get in the middle of anything, not trying to start anything. They're just trying to make everyone safe, and that's the name of the game here.
So the referees all gather together to discuss this situation, as you initially had a penalty against the Buffaloes, I believe, and then there was retaliation by the Thunderbirds, and I think they're trying to pick and choose who's responsible for what, who's at fault, and this may take a little bit of time to get the right guys into the penalty boxes. And right now I'm looking at 3 skaters for the Thunderbirds and 3 skaters for the Buffaloes. Mind you, the Buffaloes had been on the power play, so I think what we're having is 3 new Buffaloes going in and 2 new Colorado Thunderbirds going into the penalty box. And it looks like Sean Sullivan, the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, is rather heated over the situation, and he's discussing it over with one of today's officials. He's made his way down closer to that official, trying to get a better story, better explanation of what's going on. He's trying to argue his case in defense of his team. Either way, so far it appears that 3 Colorado Buffaloes will be responsible in the duel that just occurred.
John Sullivan acting very passionately here. You know, you don't want to see any of your players go to the penalty box, especially when you're seeing numbers 4 and 5 sitting in there. You know, and a lot of those guys are veterans and starters and guys who he feels as though should not be there. And, you know, that's what happens sometimes. Just get a little heated, get a little under each other's skin. It's going to happen. They're going to lift each other off the ice and have a little bit of a brawl.
It's an aggressive game, hockey is, and it gets to that point sometimes, and fighting is a part of the game. And what players do is they look out for their teammates, and that's a situation that happened. You know, we go back to where it started, and, you know, it's physical play. Guys are hitting each other. Guys are bumping. You see these guys getting at each other, and then, you know, the shot to the face is always going to get you warranted something in that situation.
Exactly.
But see, here with the two Thunderbirds on top of one guy for the Buffs, you have Chase Comats come back over. He's got to defend his guy. That's part of the game. It carries on, it piles up. It's unfortunate that sometimes you see these guys all end up in the penalty box, but it's part of the game. So right now, we'll give you the situation. We've got 4 skaters for the Buffs, 3 for the Thunderbirds. And we continue play here in the third period with 9:15 remaining. Buffalo's leading 5-4 over the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds. Buffalo's playing in their offensive zone with a one-man advantage. Buffalo's passed down behind the goal. Now bring it back out. Shot there. Deflected away by the goalie Horton. Looking for another opportunity. Pass goes to the far side boards. Thunderbirds looking to get it out of their zone. They are able to do so successfully, sending it down the ice. Buffalo skate down to reset.
And Chip, what it's looking like to me is these Buffaloes are looking to get a dump pass in, and then they're looking to set up a perimeter around the 3 Thunderbird defensemen. The 3 defensemen are trying to form this triangle to keep the puck out of the center. They want to keep it out of the slot, keep it away from the goalie, and that way they'll keep the angle down on the shots.
It's true. They wouldn't mind giving up the perimeter so much. They just want to keep down those centering shots and centering opportunities for the Buffaloes. Played in the neutral zone by the Buffs, passed up, brought into the offensive zone. We're going to have an offsides call here against the Colorado Buffaloes. Get a neutral zone face-off on the near side. 8:01 remaining in the third period. Buffalo's leading 5-4. Four-on-four hockey being played currently. Lencioni with a shot deflected aside by Chase Horton. Looking for another opportunity in front of the net. And Lencioni battling, puck stays free. And we're going to have a penalty called here against the Thunderbirds. We'll see the netminder McGrath make his way to the bench. And the Thunderbirds trying to just get the stoppage there. They're able to do so. Mitchell Cohn touching up the puck to stop play, and the Colorado Buffaloes will go on the power play once again. We'll see a brief 8 seconds of 4-on-3 hockey before we quickly move to 5-on-4. Scrum, a lot of attention, a lot of traffic right in front of the netminder Chase Horton.
Looks like there's actually going to be a little bit of 4-on-2 action. Oh, excuse me.
They tricked you with the late entry there, Zach.
That they did.
Lencioni battling to try and play, excuse me. And the puck cleared out by the Thunderbirds. That was Jordan Lochner earlier, my mistake. Buffaloes now to the 5-on-4 regular variety of a power play, looking to get something set up. Bring it into the neutral zone, pass across to the near side, brought into the offensive zone. Slap shot there, goes high and wide to the near side. And able to clear the puck out of their zone of the Colorado Thunderbirds. And Buffaloes will make their way back near their netminder and try and set up another power play offense.
See, this is the point, Chip, where I say as a Colorado player, I say we need to just settle down. Let's start developing some plays. Let's play a little bit smarter instead of playing so hard.
You don't want to give up your game plan, but you do want to play smart, like you mentioned. You know, keep playing hard, keep putting it all out there, but definitely play smart. There's only so much time left. You have a lead, and at this point, it seems like you have the momentum and advantage and the balanced mindset, as we've seen some frustrations come out on both sides. And a save here by Mike McGrath will call for a stoppage of play. And with that stoppage, we'll go to a Pepsi replay. We'll hold off on that, and we'll get back to the action. Excuse me. This puck played here in the defensive zone by the Buffaloes, cleared out into the neutral zone. Open ice hit there by the Thunderbirds. Brought onto the offensive, deflected off of the goaltender, Mike McGrath. Buffaloes clear it up and now move forward to get a dump there. Puck goes around the boards to the far side. Buffaloes fighting to keep it in their offensive side of the ice. Cleared down to the Buffaloes defensive side behind the netminder. Buffaloes looking to play it up. Jordan Lochnar has the puck taken away from him, and then it is quickly deflected out of play. We'll get a stoppage of play here. We'll set up for another neutral zone face-off at center ice.
Finally back to an even matchup, Chip. It'll be interesting to see if everyone can maintain a level head throughout this game and nothing else goes down aggressively.
We'll see how the Buffaloes battle through the last 5.5 minutes of this third period. Set up pass across goes through everybody. Thunderbirds control it in their offensive zone of the ice. Buffaloes break it out now. Lencioni bringing it up, and he'll dump it beyond and chase with a big hit upon Oliver Knauer. Played behind the Thunderbirds net. Lencioni passes it out to the point, comes on to the near side point. Slap shot there, deflected in the middle, and the Thunderbirds able to clear it out, and they look to get an opportunity here. Shot, deflection, and another shot opportunity goes wide. Good opportunity there by the Thunderbirds.
Wide open net for the Thunderbirds there. They had a great look at it and just didn't capitalize on it. Shot went a little bit wide. Happens.
It would have been a tough shot to make. They did have the open net, as you said. Buffalo's getting lucky that they weren't able to get a good stick edge onto that and to play it better than they did. Buffaloes clear it out here. Near side official waves off the icing. So Buffaloes get some fresh skaters out onto the ice. Buffaloes trying to pick it off here in the Thunderbird defensive zone, staying on that aggressive mindset. And this will be covered by Chase Horton, the goaltender for the Colorado Thunderbirds, and we'll have a stoppage of play with 3:59 remaining in the third period. Buffaloes leading 5-4 over the visiting Colorado Thunderbirds. Face-off will come to the near side face-off circle in the Thunderbirds defensive zone. Charles Coleman takes the face-off for the Buffs. Puck played into the defensive zone for the Thunderbirds, now out into the neutral zone. Played across onto the near side, bouncing behind the Buffaloes net. Buffaloes looking to clear it out of their zone, and they do so. Buffaloes pick off a pass in the neutral zone, played along the near side boards, moving into the Colorado offensive zone. Taken behind the net by Folk for the Thunderbirds. Picked off by Colorado. Buffs trying to keep it in their offensive end of the ice. Perhaps get another opportunity to set something up, get a little insurance with an extra goal here. There's an opportunity, deflected away. The Buffaloes will get a change here. Get some fresh legs out on the ice. Buffaloes playing it out of their zone into the neutral zone, now moving forward into the offensive end of the ice. Both teams still battling, still taking those shots at each other, not giving up any easy pucks along the boards. Buffalo's looking to get that dump and get onto the offense again. Played in the neutral zone, dumped down here by the Thunderbirds. They look to do the same thing. Thunderbirds looking to get that tying goal as they trail 5-4. Shot deflected aside by Mike McGrath. Buffalo's able to clear it out of their defensive zone, now move onto the offensive and losing the puck toward the referee. Thunderbirds control now on their defensive side of the ice, passing forward all the way down the ice, and this is going to warrant an icing call. Give both teams the opportunity to change some skaters, and we'll move the puck back down to the Thunderbird defensive side of the ice. We'll get a face-off from the near side face-off circle. What are you thinking now, Zach? 1:44 left in this game, 5-4 lead. What do the Buffaloes have to do to close this thing out?
I think they just got to keep intensity. You know, it's coming late to the end of the game, and they're playing hard. It's tough to remain in that same intensity as you did at the beginning of the game, and they're keeping that speed. They're keeping it, and I hope they can just continue to hold off.
We'll see what they're able to do. 1.5 minutes left now on the offensive side of the ice for the Buffaloes. They've done a good job throughout this game of keeping the puck near the Thunderbirds goaltender. Here it gets cleared away to the Buffalo side of the rink. Buffaloes pick it off there. Shot opportunity, deflected off of the top post and into the netting over the board. Good opportunity, a good shot there by the Buffs, but not good enough, just a bit too high. Buffalo's looking for that insurance, unable to pick it up there. So 1:10 left, Buffalo's up 5-4. Third period, get themselves set up for face-off in their offensive zone.
We can expect to see some pretty quick actions by the Thunderbirds here in this last minute of play.
We'll see what they do with a minute remaining now of pulling their goaltender or not. Here they come onto the offensive, looking for an opportunity. Pass in front of the net, deflected away by Mike McGrath. And this is going to move toward the open net for the Thunderbirds. And skating right into that open net is Alex Lencioni.
You know, it's interesting to see, Chip, that no one was sitting in there to pick up that center deflection off Mike McGrath there. Disappointing point for the Thunderbirds, but they had some good D on them, so understandable.
Fortunate for the Buffaloes, unfortunate for the Thunderbirds, but that's part of the game. Sometimes you're just not in the right place at the right time, and sometimes you are. We've seen it earlier in this game. The first goal for the Thunderbirds, going back to it, was a little rebound chip shot in where you do have the situation where you have a guy in the right spot at the right time. It wasn't a pass set up, it wasn't a play, it was a deflection, a rebound, and the guy's just right where he needs to be. Situation here, they get the pass across, well centered, and they just didn't have that player where they needed him to be.
Exactly, but at the same time, Chip, you've got, you know, you're looking at this, you've got a minute left. You have to send all your players in to hit that net hard, right in the center. You know, if anything comes out, it's got to have someone on it.
That's true. With his last 46 seconds remaining, you've got a timeout called here by the Thunderbirds. The teams gather, and this is where you game plan the desperation moves that the teams are going to have to come up with. The Buffaloes, obviously they're going to stay defensively focused here and to try and work their way through these last 46 seconds to not give up opportunities, not give up those deflections where you end up victim of a guy in the right place at the wrong time. And the Thunderbirds, you got to look at the other way around. They're going all out right here.
Exactly. It looks like they're pulling the goaltenders. Both Horton and Palumbo are sitting in the box right now. So we are up to 6 skaters for the Thunderbirds.
6 skaters, 5 skaters, 1 goalie for the Buffs. And here we are, the last 46 seconds. And this will go for icing. Unlike the man down in a penalty kill, you don't get the free dump here with the open net. It's the same amount of guys you're playing against. It's not a situation where they're going to give up the free dump to you. So we bring it back down to the offensive side for the Thunderbirds. And we'll have the same situation again quickly. 10 seconds pass.
Colorado doing a great job of keeping it, you know, in the other zone, keeping it out of their zone. Even if it takes a whistle stop and back to the same spot, at least they're getting it out of the zone away from Mike McGrath.
That's true. They don't mind just sending it all the way down the ice. They got nothing to lose really by doing it. And they've got a huge thing to gain with a giant open net down there on the other end. Buffalo's controlling their defensive end. Dump with a bank shot along the near side. Icing waved off. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Thunderbirds looking to play it up. Get a pass here in the offensive zone. Shot saved by Mike McGrath. Played behind the net. Thunderbirds looking to get another opportunity. Under 10 seconds remaining in the game. Teams continuing to battle, keeping up that physicality. Another shot attempt. Mike McGrath saves it, deflected away, and that's the hockey match tonight. 5-4, the Colorado Buffaloes take it as regulation comes to a close. 3 good periods of hockey, and 5-4 the final count. The Buffaloes hang on with a tough battle right there at the end. McGrath doing a great job tending net and keeping that puck in front of him. And the Buffaloes come out of here with a 5-4 win.
Absolutely, extremely physical the entire game, yet they kept that same intensity throughout the game, which is something very interesting to watch. Also, with such a young and small goalie, it's interesting to see that Mike McGrath did such a great job for the Colorado Buffaloes to hold out that win at the end.
He really did do a great job playing throughout this entire game. McGrath going from the first drop of the puck all the way to that last whistle and the horn blowing just as it did a moment ago. So the Buffaloes take it 5-4. Saw 3 goals from each team in the first period. After that, the goal scoring settled down, and we saw a great defensive performance by this Colorado Buffalo team. They gave up 1 goal in the second period, no goals in the third period, and they really turned it on defensively to shut these Thunderbirds down. A quick offensive team, but they shut them down pretty well in the last 2 periods.
Exactly. I saw a lot less maybe playmaking, puck handling, shooting, or passing and shooting, but I did see a great amount of athleticism in both teams, and I feel like the Colorado Buffaloes just pulled out a better game tonight.
And so it appears they did. The Colorado Buffaloes taking the win this year after losing 9-2 against this Colorado Thunderbirds last year up at their barn. So the victory goes to the Buffaloes 5-4. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the game. Shots on goal, the Thunderbirds coming out 35 shots on goal. McGrath stopping 31 of those, doing a great job in net. His first game exhibition as it may be, but his first game here in net for the Colorado Buffaloes. 43 shots for the Buffs, and enough of those went in, 5 of them, to give them a 5-4 victory.
You know, both teams, you don't see that very often above 30 shots on goal, and that's it was a very interesting game to see how many shots were on goal. How many of those were, dedicated shots and how many of those were rebounds. And, Colorado just happened to pull out a couple more that went in.
They did. They battled all the way through. The physicality stayed up all the way from that moment that puck dropped until the moment this game ended. So the Colorado Buffaloes take the 5-4 lead. Let's go down to Michelle, and she's caught up with that Colorado Buffaloes goaltender. Michelle, what do you have for us?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm down here with Jay Westforth the Fourth. He's obviously the goalie. Tell me, what did you think of tonight's game? You guys pulled off a win.
Yeah, it was a good win for us. Thunderbirds definitely a good team. Young, but they know how to play. Capitalized on a couple of our mistakes, but we didn't make too many mistakes, so it's good first game. Yeah, we look good. Proud of us.
Good. It turned into quite a physical game out there, and you guys managed to hold on to your 5-4 lead. How do you think you did that?
Well, we definitely had the size advantage on them. They were pretty soft. They tried to get physical with us, but they couldn't hang, so we wore them down.
Yeah,
Got
definitely.
white. Yeah.
Put in some of that CU domination.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Bring it back to you guys.
Thank you, Michelle, and let's take a look and let's see some of the numbers and some of the information we have going back to this game. Our 3 stars for the Colorado Thunderbirds will go to Tyler Andrew. He had 2 assists in the game tonight. Number 2, Alex Lencioni, one of our focused star players of the team, coming in, picking up a goal, 2 assists, and with that, we'll go back down to Michelle, who's caught up with Sean Sullivan, the head coach of your Colorado Buffaloes. Michelle?
All right, that's right. Here with head coach Sullivan. All right, you guys managed to pull out your 5-4 win. First preseason game. What are your thoughts?
Worthy opponent, excellent game. I mean, the puck moved really well the entire time. Happy to pull out a 5-4 win. It was definitely a hard-fought game for sure.
Yeah. Talk about hard fought. Turned into quite a physical game, especially there in the third period. You were having some words with the referee. What was that conversation about?
You know, just trying to sort those penalties out. I mean, you get to a point in the game where those 2-minute minors are a big deal, especially when you're ahead. So just wanted to make sure everything came out the way it should have, and it did. So we were all happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. And then you talked a lot about how with this new team you want to see respect and a positive attitude. Do you think that really played forth throughout this first game for you guys?
Yes, definitely. You know, the bench was up the whole time. The guys had really, really good attitude on the bench. You know, we lost it a couple of times, but for the first preseason game, we'll take it for sure.
Great. Good to hear. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll toss it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Coach Sullivan. Great to hear from him, seeing his team win this 5-4 exhibition game against the Colorado Thunderbirds. I'm sure he's happy to see them come out onto the ice tonight, play aggressive as they did, and come out with the win. From all the things we've heard going into this game from Coach Sullivan, Coach Fife, these guys were going to play aggressive. They were going to be physical. They were going to dump. They were going to chase. They were going to grind. They were going to take advantage of everything they could get, and I believe that's what we saw today. What do you think, Zach?
Absolutely. You know, everyone's touched on the physicality, but what I want to talk about is everyone playing together, and I want to talk about Chase Komatz and coming out there and building some momentum to have everyone come and get the goals that they need and really just come through in this game. Also, I want to talk about goaltender Mike McGrath. Played an awesome game in goal. Let 4 of 35 shots in. Very, very commendable for a very first game against a very difficult opponent in the Colorado Thunderbirds.
A very difficult opponent indeed. They are very young, but they're very fast, very skilled team. Before this game, we talked about Coach Sullivan and Coach Fife about this team returning its luster, getting back to where they used to be as a successful, shining, well-appreciated club, and coming back in and getting here with a 5-4 victory over a team that really put it to them last year in their barn, coming back into our barn, taking them 5-4. I think we're starting that return, and hopefully it continues, and this team keeps up their level of play and can continue this on through the rest of the season. So here we are, 5-4. Colorado takes its first exhibition game here at the Gordon Bombay Ice Center in Boulder, Colorado. Hopefully you'll join us next time out here at the Bombay Ice Center for the next Colorado men's home hockey game. You've been listening and watching Colorado men's hockey on Buffs TV.